Hey, it is 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for our weekly mastermind, State of Real Estate. We do this every Friday, 12 noon Eastern time, for our current students, our past students, as well as our future students to help you mastermind to grow your real estate business. And occasionally we're talking about topics like farming and marketing and very specific strategic things you could implement right away. But what we're talking about today is not just something applicable to your real estate business, but to your entire life. It's really the changing of a mindset and the way your mindset is influenced, because this ultimately forms the foundation of any strategies it is that you lay on top of that. So we're talking about today how to deal with naysayers. And these people, they may have good intentions, but you've heard it before. Oh, are you sure you want to do that? Don't you know how risky this is? Don't you know how much this might cost? Don't you know this or that or whatever it is when you're saying something, you know the type of people it is that I'm talking about. And again, they might have good intentions, but we're going to talk about how that could impact your life and how to make it have a minimal impact on your life so you could still achieve whatever dreams and goals it is that you're striving for. So we've got a great episode for you guys today. I'm really excited to bring it to you. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. 12 noon every Friday. It's our weekly mastermind to help you grow your real estate business. And today we're talking about a topic that doesn't just apply in real estate. We'll be focusing around real estate and giving some real estate examples and real estate scenarios around this here. But this will apply not only in any business, but in any person's life. Because how many times have you maybe suggested something, and somebody, maybe somebody close to you, or maybe somebody not so close to you, but somebody that's involved, or maybe they're not even involved, but they just have an opinion about the matter, and they're coming across with if you do that, then this could happen, or this could happen, or this could happen, or it could cost all this money, or what if this happens, or what if that happens. And ultimately, if you're just taking it at face value, they might be raising some valid concerns. So don't get me wrong, there may be some valid concerns here. But let's say you're planning on doing something. Maybe it's starting a real estate career. Maybe it's joining a new brokerage. Maybe it's starting a new marketing or farming campaign. Maybe it's something like that. And somebody tells you, hey, don't you know how much work that is? Do you really want to do that much work? Yeah, there's so many easier ways to make money. Why would you do this with all this work? Hey, look, well, let's deal with the facts here. It's not easy ways to make money, or at least not easy ways to make a lot of money. Any way to make money might become easier over time. You might make it look easy, but the process and the struggle and what it takes to achieve a certain income goal or to generate a certain amount of business, that takes work. So let's first and foremost just fact check what's going on here. Because look, if somebody makes these statements, all of a sudden you're questioning your idea. You're questioning what it is that you want to do. You're questioning whether or not you should continue down this path. And now what ultimately happens, and the reason why almost everyone will see the validity. I run into naysayers all the time. I have naysayers that are close around me. But I could deal with them because I know where they're coming from. I understand. And sometimes they do raise some valid concerns. But look, so basic human nature is to find the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance is great. There's the 4-Hour Work Week. I love that book, but the basic premise of it, if you just take it at face value of what the title is, a 4-Hour Work Week, if you're working 4 hours, maybe if you're good enough, you can get by, you can survive. but you won't be able to thrive. And if we're working 4 hours, it's probably not even able to survive, especially at the beginning. So there's this whole concept of the path of least resistance. And, people call it lazy. I don't necessarily would say it's lazy. They're just submitting to their basic human instincts. Their basic human instinct of looking for the path of least resistance, of doing the least amount of work to get by. What the problem with this is, where this is a broken and flawed formula, a flawed system, is you have to look at this and ask yourself, do you want this outcome? Do you want to just get by? If the answer is yes, then yeah, path of least resistance. If you're only looking to get by, just to survive, but even then, the path of least resistance I wouldn't recommend it, because we've talked about this before. When there's shifts in the market, when there's changes in economic trends, when there's changes to your business, when there's changes to your customers' preferences, when there's some new competitor that comes along, if you've been just getting by, you're going to be just going out of business when something gets shook up like this. And I've said this so many times before, and that's why this show, I love doing the show so much, because not only does it help me spread and preach the word of growth and how important it is, but it also helps keep me in check and make sure that I'm executing the things it is that I tell others to do. So that's why the whole kind of, if you teach something, you live it so much better. So that's the great part of this show. So if you're here just to get by, this episode isn't for you. You go ahead and turn this off now and go watch some other video on YouTube or Facebook, maybe cats playing a piano or something like that. But if you are looking to not just survive, but thrive, it's important that you know how to deal with naysayers, with negativity, because you cannot avoid it. And it's bad if you're just trying to avoid it, because you cannot avoid it and you'll eventually come across it. And if you've just been avoiding it and evading the negativity, you won't know what to do with it when it hits you. When you get the negativity, you're like, oh, what is this? Oh, wow, oh my God, no, I can't start this new business. I can't start this new marketing campaign. I can't do this. I can't do that, because that's such a viable concern. And deep down, as much as you might have a growth mindset, and as much as you might want to try to change your life for the better, deep down, there's still those instincts, those basic human instincts. And this is almost impossible to reprogram. Even if you've been going 30, 40, 50 years of striving to be the best it is you can be, it just takes a few missteps to go tumbling down. It takes a long time to climb up the cliff. One wrong step, though, will send you falling down. Now, you might be, if you're able to get back up, you're better at climbing. You can probably get to that top spot faster. But that's why you constantly need to be growing yourself and growing your knowledge and growing your business and growing overall your life. And the whole point I'm trying to make here, and this is how I am able to have negativity around me and it does not affect me. And when you're able to get to this point of where you're able to handle negativity, then you're able to weed out the valid concerns from the fear. Because, again, going back to our basic human instinct of looking for that path of least resistance, if anything is other than the least amount of resistance, there's a little bit of fear with that. What if this is more work than I could do? What if this is something that I'm not able to figure out? And there's all these what if scenarios. And if you feed that beast, and that's why you've got to be extremely careful dealing with negativity around you. Because even if you're not feeding that beast, they could be growing inside you. Not a good beast, but a bad beast, the beast of negativity. Because if you feed it, if you give it the thoughts it wants, that's where you become self-defeating. That's where you get an idea and you just tell yourself, oh, I could never do that. I'm not good enough to do that. But once you have this word, I want you to write down conviction. When you have conviction meaning that you are 100% I'm not going to say 110% because that's not a thing. When you're 100%, when you're all in on what it is that you're looking to achieve, it becomes easy dealing with this. And this isn't even just on the major, on the macro level, but also on the micro level, the little things it is that you're looking to do. You have to be all in and 100%. Let's take a couple examples of this here. So, being a real estate school, every day our business is helping people get their real estate license, helping people renew their license, doing post-licensing, and so on and so forth. And even though this might just be one of those micro things, not ultimately your real estate career, but it's one small stepping stone that does make the difference in the whole thing. If you're, for example, because we'll have students that'll struggle to pass an exam, maybe struggle studying material, maybe just struggling completing the course, or maybe they've passed the exam and they're struggling getting started. And one thing, this is not the only thing, but this is ultimately the mindset that you have to have, is that you're all in. You're not just going to try real estate. If you're just here to try real estate, you're going to have a hard time being successful. If you're just trying to dip a toe in the water, and now look, I don't want this to be misinterpreted, because I've said this before, that it's great to start real estate part-time, and I still am 100% behind that statement. But even whether you're part-time, full-time, it doesn't matter how much it is that you're working, you're 100% convicted, and you have 100% conviction and ownership, and you're telling yourself every day, it's only days until I leave this other job. It's only days until I've sold $100,000 worth of homes. It's only days until I've sold $1 million worth of homes. It's only days since I've sold $1 billion in homes. And when you have that conviction, when you have that belief that this is what you're doing, it's inevitable it's going to happen. It might take some time. It might take some effort. It's probably going to take some hard work. Anything that's worth achieving doesn't come easy, or else everyone else would be doing it. So there's going to be that struggle. There's going to be that times where you question yourself. When that ugly beast of fear and doubt starts to rear its head. And then you have the people around you, whether it's the people at your brokerage, your family members even. And these people, again, it's not something to take out personally on them. They're not attacking you. They're testing your conviction. They're testing whether or not you truly believe that you could achieve what it is that you set out to do. Because if you don't believe you could achieve what it is that you've set out to do, you're probably not going to achieve it. And again, it doesn't matter how much it is that you're in this. So again, going back to our example of starting a real estate career, maybe you're working just part-time. Maybe you've got your current job, it's steady income, but you want to make that shift. Are you making that shift saying, oh, I'll try real estate. If it works out, then maybe I'll go start. Maybe I'll leave my current job. That thinking, and look, don't feel bad if that's how it is that you thought. And don't take offense to this, but that's weak thinking. It's weak thinking because you're telling yourself that you're probably not going to be able to do this, that you're probably not going to succeed. And when you tell yourself these negative things, you're feeding that beast. There's really two beasts that live inside of you. The beast of negativity and the beast of positivity, of optimism, of hope, of dreams. Which one do you want to feed? Do you want to be feeding the negative monster that's going to do nothing but tear you down and just lead you down that path of least resistance, that path of barely getting by, that path of surviving? Or do you want to feed the beast that will empower you, that will give you hope, that will help make your dreams a reality? It all starts with what you're thinking. This is what's running the show up here. The thoughts in your head are influence every decision it is that you make. And when those thoughts in your head are negative, it's feeding that negative beast. And that might not even seem like it's inherently negative. When you're saying, oh, well, I'll try this out, that seems like the safe thing to do. It sounds like the right thing to do. I'll try this if I'm any good at it. Listen to what I just said, if I'm any good at it. Let's change the wording. Before we take a break here, let's change the wording for this particular scenario. Even if you're starting part-time, and even more importantly, if you're starting this full-time, if you're starting a real estate career, you need to be going into this that I will be successful. I will close deals. I will get this certain level of income. And that might happen today, could happen tomorrow, could happen months from now, it could happen from years from now. But you need to have that conviction. And the more positive you are about this, the more conviction it is that you have. And I know from personal experience, when I've been faced with decisions, and I start to get these negative thoughts about it. And look, as much as I'm positive and optimistic and have conviction about what it is that I'm doing, for proven systems, whenever there's something new, and this is the most difficult, when you're doing something new and you're turning away from something that works, you're turning away from a career that's been able to provide for you and your family to survive, but you look into the distance and you see there's maybe something better. There's maybe a way to make my life better, but do I really want to leave this career behind? And you have to have that conviction that you will succeed, that you will achieve that goal it is that you're looking to happen. Whether this is passing your real estate exam, whether this is selling your first house, whether this is starting a marketing campaign, you have to have conviction. You have to remain positive. And that's your foundation, your fort, your castle that will help you fend off the negativity. It'll keep that negative beast locked away in the dungeon. And it'll always be there. It never goes away. It's always there. You've just got to starve it and make it weak. Make that negativity almost non-existent and keep it contained. But you do that through the thoughts it is that you think every day, through the words it is that you say, just making that shift of, I'll try this out, and if I'm good, I'll make the jump, and I'll maybe change careers. It's not the way to go about it. You go about that, making this shift, making this change like that, you're setting yourself up for failure. You've got to tell yourself, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to make this change. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Notice how that's just such a more confident statement. In any sort of sales industry, whether it's real estate or otherwise, the confidence is key. Starting any business, you have to be confident. I read something about Kanye West, where somebody was going to visit his house, and they walk in, and in the entranceway, he's got a great big painting of himself hanging up in the entranceway. Just him hanging up. And, he asked Kanye, he said, why do you have this painting of yourself here? Why is it? This is the most arrogant thing ever, basically, is not the exact words. But his response, and it's something that I live by every day. Kanye, he does some wild things, but the thing that stuck with me from that is, if I'm not my biggest fan, how do I expect anyone else to be my fan? So if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you could do the things it is that you're setting out to do, why would anybody else believe in you? It all starts with you. Before we go on break, I want to give a quick shout out to Elaine Matos. Thanks for tuning in. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, so we'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrismo with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, it's your weekly dose of mastermind. This is where we come together, our past students, our current students, and our future students, to help you take your real estate business to that next level. And a big part of being able to grow your business is believing that you can. Now, this sounds silly. It sounds ridiculous. But it's so fundamental. It's so crucial. If you don't believe in yourself, your broker's not going to believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, your clients won't believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, your family won't. If you don't believe in yourself, your significant other won't. If you don't believe in yourself, your kids won't. And you know what I'm talking about. You've seen the people that are negative, that are doubting, that when presented with an opportunity, immediately look for what's wrong with it, what could go bad. And that way of thinking, that thought process of thinking of the negatives and how to avoid these risks, it's not about avoiding the risk. Just like I said earlier, it's not about avoiding negativity. You won't be able to avoid negativity. You won't be able to avoid risk. The things it is that you're doing should make you feel uncomfortable. You know, when we started State of Real Estate, we set up the studio here. I've never done live stream before. I've never been on TV before. Maybe I've been on TV, but nothing where I'm speaking in front of people. I've spoken in front of people before this, but not live, on camera, recorded forever. And when we started the show, I was uncomfortable about it. People would tell me, no one's going to watch that. No one's going to tune into that. Why do people want to watch that? You're doing it for an hour? Why are you doing it for an hour? No one wants to sit around and listen to you talk for an hour. No one wants to watch an hour-long show. Why would you do it for so long? Why is it? No one wants to listen about growing a real estate business. That's not entertaining. These naysayers, these people, close to me people, employees even. But I was convicted. I had conviction. I knew that this opened up to a bigger audience. I knew that this would ultimately be beneficial for our students. I know that it was going to be expensive. I knew that it was going to be time consuming. I knew the things that could go wrong. And with the way I think, I'm a very strategic person. When I'm thinking about something, I'm running through all these different scenarios. But when I'm running through these different scenarios, I'm not looking for a reason why not to do something. I'm looking for the way, for things that could be issues so I could find solutions to these issues. I'm not looking for a cop-out. I'm not looking for an easy way out. I'm not looking for an excuse to not do something. I'm thinking about what could happen, because there will be issues, there will be risk, there will be problems, and what I could do to solve these problems. Now, sometimes it's just another another complaint, another naysayer statement. Don't you know how much time that's going to take? How is this going to there's easier ways to make money. All these things. But again, you have to be convicted. You have to be 100%. And you have to believe in yourself. And people around you won't immediately believe in you. When you're setting out to do something new, when you're going out on a limb, when you're crossing this rickety bridge to a new opportunity. Again, we talked about this before when we were talking about taking the leap. I think that's an episode we did a couple weeks back for State of Real Estate. A lot of mindset ones we've been doing recently, and these are so fundamental to building a strong foundation to where you can apply these tactical strategies on top of them. You've got to have this mindset, because this is ultimately, you are the agent of change in your life. You are the person that can have the biggest impact to the environment it is that you have around you. So imagine you're crossing this one. You've seen in the movies these rickety-looking wooden bridges across this ravine, and there's so many things that could go wrong. One of the wooden planks could break, the rope could tear. Maybe there's some high wind that comes through and flips you off of this bridge. Maybe you get to the other side and it's not what you thought it was going to be. All these things. And you can think of the problems and what could happen and why, and give yourself all these reasons why you should not cross this bridge. And this is the same type of thinking that you want to not apply in your life, because and I get it. Some people are just wired to look for the problems. And that doesn't necessarily mean you can't be successful. It just means that you need to be aware of the way it is that your mind works. Again, I'm a very strategic person. When I think about doing something, I'm immediately trying to think 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 steps ahead. But when I'm thinking all these steps ahead, I'm not looking for reasons why not to do something. I'm thinking of, okay, one of these planks breaks on this bridge here, and I've got to quickly jump to the next bridge. Okay, got the solution to this, now I can move forward. But I know, and I tell myself, that I'm not going to know everything that could go wrong when I'm starting something new, when I'm taking this leap of faith, when I'm trying to cross this bridge to a new opportunity. And, so many people will think of the excuses or the things that could go wrong when starting a new opportunity. What are the risks? What are the things that could go wrong? What could happen if you don't take that new opportunity? If you stay in that place it is that you are. Say we're crossing this bridge in some jungle somewhere. If we say, we've been on this side of the bridge here for so many years, why do we want to go to this new side of the bridge? Why would we go through all this work and risks to cross this bridge when life is good here? But you never know what's going to happen on your side of the bridge. You don't know if there's lions that are hunting you, or there's going to be a forest fire, or some loggers coming through and tearing down this industry, if we're trying to tie in this metaphor to your business. What works now doesn't necessarily mean it'll work in the future. And that's why, again, you always want to be in this state of constant growth. And maybe that's within the industry it is that you're in. But you want to look to see, am I getting stagnated? Am I complacent? Am I growing myself, or am I just happy with what it is that I have? And people say that a lot. Be happy with what you have. There's so many people in the world that don't have it as good as you. There's people that can't put food on their table. There's people that go hungry. There's people this and that, and so on and so forth. Those are all true statements. I get it. But I asked myself, when I was first confronted with this, do I want to trade places with them? No. Those are great facts you're bringing up, but now how does that apply to me. I don't want to have to worry about even just putting food on the table. I don't want to have to worry about any of these problems. The problems that I'm trying to solve are forward-thinking problems and not backwards-thinking problems. And if you want to talk about people that are starving, don't talk about it, do something about it. Feed the homeless. Start some charitable organization. Do something to change. Because you just talking about it and talking about these issues are serving no purpose other than to validate the position it is that you're in. So look, I'm all for you helping other people, but go help other people. Just don't talk about how other people have it worse off than you. And the way it is that you're able to do that, you might say, well, John, I can't help other people. I don't have the means to help other people. Then do something about your life and grow your life and make your life better so that you can help other people. The only way to help others is to first help yourself. When you get on an airplane and they tell you, put your own mask on first before you assist others, you have to help yourself before you can help others. Because if you're struggling, if you're dying, you can't help somebody else that's struggling and dying. So you've got to always go back to yourself and growing yourself. And again, these people that are naysayers, they have good intentions. They're looking out for you. Moms are notorious for looking at things that could go wrong and trying to protect you. And look, going back to that scenario about crossing the bridge here, what if you do cross that bridge and then there's the forest fire, there's the lions? It's going back to, you're starting this real estate career and maybe somebody says, oh, don't you know how much work that is? Don't you know? There was an article in the newspaper about a week ago. And I don't really read the newspaper, but it was an article related to starting a real estate career, so I wanted to take a look at it. And it was laughable. The article was a piece of information designed to almost tell you that, hey, don't start a real estate career because you won't be able to do anything out of it. That's a naysayer. That's a person of negativity. That's somebody's, and they raised valid points. I am not disputing any of the facts that were presented in this article. They were talking about the number of real estate agents versus the number of transactions. They gave accurate information, but they didn't give the whole story. Because the reason why, you might know somebody that has a real estate license that's not a millionaire. It's very common to find somebody that has a real estate license that's not a millionaire. But at the same time, there's people with a real estate license that are making over $1 million a year. So which side is it that you want to look at? Which beast is it that you want to feed? Do you want to tell yourself, I'm just going to be one of those people who doesn't do anything with a real estate license? Because just because you have the real estate license doesn't mean you're automatically just going to have checks start coming in. That's ridiculous. But when you put in the work, and you're doing the right things, and you have the right direction, and you have the right mindset, and you're constantly telling yourself that you're going to earn over $1 million a year in commission income. It's not a matter of if at this point, it's a matter of when. And that's these top producers. The number one agents, if you ask them, hey, this year, how much business is it that you're going to sell? How many houses is it that you're going to sell? They're not going to tell you, oh, well, I don't know, the real estate market could go anywhere. Oh, sometimes people just don't want to sell their house, or, sometimes people just don't want to buy their house. No, these are the words that you hear from somebody who is not a top producer. And you've got to ask yourself that question. Who do you want to take advice from? Do you want to take advice from somebody who is a top producer who is going to tell you, yeah, business is great, business is booming. We're on track to sell 1,000 homes this year. We're going to make $1.2 million in gross commission income. Business is great. Things are great. And if you ask them, well, how do you know you're going to do that? Because I know. That's what the words you're going to hear if you talk to a top producer. If you talk to an average real estate agent, an average in any industry, not even just real estate, this concept, this structure, this hierarchy is not unique to real estate. This is everywhere. Not everyone's going to be the best because not everyone wants to be the best. That's where this starts out. And you might say, I want to be the best, but at the same time you might be saying, well, I don't know if I'm going to be the best. I want to be the best, but I don't know if I could do it. You don't have conviction. You've got to first believe in yourself and believe that you can be the best and that you will be the best before you have any shot of being the best. Well, you know, when you're going out with a client, when you're taking a client out to see homes, and this is something rampant in the real estate industry, that you're taking somebody out to see homes and, you know, you talk to them beforehand and they say, oh, you know, taking them out to go see some homes. Hopefully they find something they like. If I do, I'll make some money. You know, there's an analogy that I love. That imagine you're going in a canoe, and you're going down the river. No need to paddle because the current's carrying you. So you're just sitting in your canoe, water's flowing, and you're being carried right along. Now, in Florida, we don't necessarily have this, but in more mountainous parts of the country, let's say maybe this river leads to Niagara Falls. And that's why the water's picking up. That's why the water's moving quickly. And if you're just letting your environment control where it is that you go, if you're taking this client out and you're saying, oh, you know, maybe they'll buy something. I don't know. If they don't, whatever. No, you should be, when you're taking this client out, it's not hopefully we'll find a house they like. Taking a client out, going to show them some houses, they're going to love one of them, and they're going to want to buy the house. And you might say, John, well, I've got to be realistic. No, you don't. You don't have to be realistic. Being realistic is nothing but lowering your expectations. And when you lower your expectations, you automatically lower your goals. So don't be realistic. You don't need to be realistic. Have faith in yourself that you've found the right homes to show this buyer, that you can provide the service that this buyer needs. Because if you don't believe in this house, if you don't believe in your services, if you don't believe in your capability to handle this transaction, neither will that client. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but we'll be back in less than 2 minutes, so stick with us. I'm John Christma. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Christma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have been for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Christopher, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you live to mastermind, to grow your real estate business. And you know, some weeks we're talking about in-depth strategies, maybe marketing and farming and things like that, tactical type of things it is that you could do, how to do them, how to execute those. But today we're talking at a much higher level, and that's the mindset it is that you're going about this. And if you want to succeed in anything it is that you do, you have to have the right mindset. You have to believe in your ability to achieve. You have to believe that you could do the things it is that you're setting out to do. Because if you don't believe that you could do the things it is that you're setting out to do, why are you even trying? And I'm not saying don't do these things. I'm saying get conviction, get confident, become a little bit arrogant. You know, it's a fine line between arrogance and confidence. Between arrogance and confidence. The difference is, though, with confidence, it's more about that you're going to do what it is that you're set forth to do. Whereas arrogance might be a little bit more about, you know, arrogance can actually go in line with a naysayer. A naysayer can be arrogant, that they believe that they know everything and they're shooting down all the ideas. That's different than being confident. Confident is much more about the positive side, the positive beast. Arrogance is dealing with the negative side, part of that negative beast. And again, you're not going to be able to avoid this negativity. Your clients might be coming to you with negativity. You might be on a listing appointment, and the clients might not believe that they'll be able to sell the house. They might not believe that somebody would want to buy the house. They might not believe that they're going to be able to find a house it is that they like when they're moving into. And if you don't believe that, and if you don't give them reason to believe that these things can happen, that you're the person who will make these things happen, they won't believe. They're likely not to sign that listing agreement. They're likely to not want to even look at other homes, because, you know, no home is going to be as great as the home it is they have now. Why would they want to move and risk losing this safe place? And just like if that homeowner, and the most stressful transactions that I've dealt with is when the homeowner is making a significant jump, when they're greatly increasing. I've helped people buy a home that was almost double the price of their previous home. And with not much significant increases in income, but it was possible. But those are the most stressful transactions because there's the highest level of change going on. Just like if you're trying to get to that next level, if you're trying to double your income or triple your income or 10x your income, if you're trying to go to these higher levels, you're going to feel uncomfortable. And a lot of people take this uncomfortability as a sign that they can't do it, as a sign that something might not happen, as a sign that there's things outside of their control. But again, you've got to go back to your belief in yourself, your belief in your goals, your belief in your skills. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. If you're not your biggest fan, no one else will believe in you. So you've got to be your biggest fan. And you're not going to change these people that are negative. I've tried. I've tried to say things. And the best thing it is that you could do to change these people is lead by example. Because if you tell them they're just being negative, if you tell them don't be so negative, if you tell them don't be a naysayer, they're not going to change. They're going to think you're delusional. they're going to think that they need to naysay even more because you won't believe them. You know, when somebody tells me, I'm thinking about doing something, oh, that's going to be a lot of work. I know. That's why we're doing it. Anything that's worth doing is going to require work. Oh, that's, what if you don't get the numbers you're expecting? What if you're marketing in this new area? And what if your marketing doesn't work? It's going to work. Simple as that. Well, how do you respond to that? Well, how do you know it's going to work? Because I know. And especially, and the confidence grows even more the more experienced it is that you become. And the more it is that you're actually start achieving these goals it is that you've set out. Now the people aren't naysaying as much because they know that you do what you set out to do. That if you're doing something, there's no question about it that you're going to make this work. That you're going to grind out tooth and nail to make this happen, to achieve what it is that you've set out to achieve. When they see that, when they see that that's the way that you approach your business, that you approach your life, they become fans. They know that if you're doing something, you know what you're doing, and that you could do it. But when you don't have that track record, when you're starting something new, you might not even believe in yourself. You might doubt yourself. You might doubt your abilities. And anything is possible. Anything is possible. You're looking to start a real estate career? Yeah, there'll be some challenges. There's going to be some costs. There's going to be some challenges. There might be moments when you doubt yourself and you doubt your ability to pass the exam, or once you've got your license, you doubt your ability to close your first deal, or when you've closed your first deal, you doubt your ability to close a second deal. And once you're closing deals consistently, you doubt your ability to increase your income level. There'll be these doubts that occur. They're never going to go away. Like I said, you envision as you've built this castle and you've got this negative beast locked away in the dungeon, but it's constantly down there yowling, oh, you can't do this. So you just got to keep that fortress that you built of positivity, of belief, of conviction strong. And that's how you keep that beast of negativity that's going to do nothing but hold you down, do nothing but try to steer you towards the path of least resistance. And again, you do not want that path of least resistance. That path of least resistance is going to lead you just to survive. And surviving, there's two options. You either survive or you don't survive. But when you're growing yourself, you either grow or you don't grow. You notice how we have the difference here. Survive or not survive. You know, surviving, you're getting by. Not surviving, okay, we've got a problem. You can't pay your bills, you can't buy food, you can't, all these other things. But when you're growing, it's great when you're growing, but if you're not growing, maybe you do hit some road bumps and you're flattening out. You're not constantly growing. If you're trying to constantly grow yourself, though, the only other option is to not grow yourself. To not grow your business. To not grow the number of clients it is that you work with. Which leads us where we're hitting that level of surviving. So either grow or survive or not survive. I'd rather take the two options of grow or survive. Because, you know, if something happens, if there's a change in the market, if there's changes in trends, and we happen to not be growing our business at this time, we're at least surviving. We're at least able to ride out storms and problems and issues that may arise and tackle those. Because if you're just surviving or not surviving, if those are your two options that you're choosing that path of least resistance to do the least amount of work. And I get it. That's not anything unique to you. That's everyone. Everyone's always inherently, due to our instincts, looking for that path of least resistance, looking for the least amount of work to do. And you know, that is important still. That's how you become more efficient. But that efficiency doesn't come in. Because if you have zero production, how do you make zero production more efficient? It's already as efficient as it could be because you're not producing anything. That outcome Doesn't matter how efficient you're producing 0 deals and 0 income. Efficiency doesn't matter. So, and when you're starting out, and this is something I see a lot of new agents struggle with, when you're starting out, when you're initially starting your real estate business, efficiency does not matter. Once you've got deals coming in and you've got a consistent flow of business, that's where efficiency kicks in. Doesn't matter when you're starting up. And you're going to have to do some difficult things. You know, you've heard these stories of people, of Mark Cuban calls it couch surfing when he was starting his business, or you're sleeping on different people's couches, or eating foods that are just not desirable foods, but just cheap foods. Because it just doesn't happen overnight. Nothing worth chasing after comes easy. You have to know that. You have to tell yourself that. So when you get hit with these obstacles, when you get hit with this negativity, whether it's from the environment or from the people around you or whatever that may be, you have to be equipped to handle this. And you have to know that, okay, I'm going to achieve what it is that I've set out to achieve. This is just a little road bump. This is just speed bump. This is just something slowing me down a little bit. This is an unexpected problem on my path to what it is that I'm trying to do. But again, if you go into anything new, whether that's starting a real estate career or starting any sort of business, because this is universally applicable, if you're going into this thinking, I'm going to try this, and if it works, I've been an entrepreneur since I was this big. Lemonade stands, selling stuff door to door. I ran a mobile DJ business when I was in high school, DJing people's weddings when I was 15 years old. Couldn't even drive myself. Had to have my dad drive me around to people's weddings so I could DJ it for them. Don't think they knew that they were dealing with somebody 15 years old when they hired me. But point being, I've started lots of businesses. And I haven't always been as convicted as I am today. I've gone in and I've tried to do things and went into it saying, I'll try this out and, if it works, good. I was looking for that path of least resistance. And when I'd run into problems and I'd run into issues, and I would tell myself, so look, this is even coming from me. I've overcame this. I would tell myself, this doesn't work. I don't know how those people are making money doing this, but it's obviously fake. It's obviously some sort of scam. And I look back on this and I laugh about this when that wasn't the case at all. It was just simply that I did not believe in my ability to achieve the things that it is I set out to do. And you're setting yourself up for failure when you don't initially have that belief in yourself. So that's about all the time we've got today. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. If I want to leave you with just a final few words of advice, it's believe in yourself. That's the advice, is to believe in yourself. And now I want to give you something to do, something that you could do, that you could implement that's going to help you believe in yourself. And it goes by a lot of different names. Put it simply, without having any fancy words for it, writing down the goals it is that you want to achieve. Or the word you might have heard of before, affirmations. And affirmations are basically you saying that you're going to do what it is that you're going to do. By you saying, or you writing down, ideally write this down, write it down and say it ideally, really combine the two of them together, that you're going to have a thriving real estate business. If you tell yourself every day that you're going to have a thriving real estate business, you're eventually going to have a thriving real estate business. If you say you're going to try to have a thriving real estate business, you're going to try to have a thriving real estate business, but will you have a thriving real estate business? It's a lot less likely. It's going to be more difficult because, again, you're not believing in yourself. This is what you have to do to reprogram your mind to think about achieving more and not just thinking about that path of least resistance, of avoiding risk and avoiding dangers and avoiding fears. You have to reprogram yourself. And the way that you do that, to brainwash yourself is another way to put it, is to tell yourself affirmatively that you're going to do this, or even better, that I have a thriving business. You write that down. I have a thriving business. I'm closing X amount of deals. By you saying that, and depending on your personality, you can go either way. Either one of those. If you're saying, I'm going to have a thriving real estate business, or I have a thriving real estate business, depending on who you talk to, they might tell you one's better than the other. But by writing these down and speaking these words, and not just talking about your business, but talking about yourself, building up your confidence, telling yourself that you're capable, telling yourself that you're knowledgeable, telling yourself that you know the appropriate channels to seek out when you run into some sort of issue. That's going to build up in your confidence. And that's where you build this out to where you might have heard the expression before, everything you touch turns to gold. That's what you want to do. It all starts with you. It all comes back to you. It all boils down to you. You're that catalyst that changes your environment around you. So believe in yourself. Write down your goals. Write your affirmations every single day. And watch as your life begins to change. Watch as you could better handle anything the world throws at you. And that's all I've got for you guys today. If you've liked today's episode, you want to rewatch it, or you want to watch any of our previous episodes of State of Real Estate, make sure you go to tampaschool.com/success. Again, that's tampaschool.com/success. This is our Success Center. This is where we help you plan for your success in the real estate industry. You'll find all the previous episodes of State of Real Estate, as well as all of our episodes of Ask the Instructor, our show we do on Wednesdays where we talk about the technical side of the real estate industry. So you can find that all on our Success Center, along with articles, calculators, all kinds of things to help you plan for your success. And the best thing for you to do, it'll prompt you in several places on there to drop your email in. If you put your email in there, anytime we have something new, anytime it is that we go live, you get a notification, so that way you don't miss on any opportunities to grow your real estate business. And also, if you're looking to start a real estate career, give us a call. Phone number flashes below there. It's 813-928-0106. 813-928-0106. You'd also check us out at tampaschool.com. If you've got post-licensing to do, make sure you get that done before your deadline. We've got a deadline coming up here, March 31st, the end of the month. If you don't have post-licensing done by that deadline, your license will go null and void if you don't have that completed by your deadline. So get that done as soon as possible. You can find all that information again at tampaschool.com, or if you'd just rather talk to somebody, give us a call. Our advisors are standing by to help you with any questions you have. That phone number again is 813-928-0106. Thank you guys for tuning in today, and I'll see you guys next week. Go out there and crush it this weekend.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.